Welcome to the Filmora music video series. My name's Jony, and today we're going to be taking a look at what everybody does on this set. If you haven't seen our previous videos in the series where we talk about planning, storyboarding, and scheduling a music video, make sure to check those out, link in the description. Low-budget music videos might be done by one person who acts as the director, the cinematographer, and camera operator. But as you scale up your production, you might realize how many people you need to pull off a shoot like this. It's easy to get overwhelmed walking into the set of a large-scale production for the first time, but a useful way to break things down is to separate your crew into three main departments: the director's department, production design, and the cine department. Hovering over all of this are the producers. Let's go talk to them first.
What up? My name is Jacob Crawford. I'm one of the producers on the Blau music video Tokyo. If I were to best describe what a producer role is, honestly, I think it is making sure that you have the best team. So it's a lot of going back and forth with the artist, finding out what it is that they're looking to get out of a music video for that song, and then relaying it with the director and then attaching the director to that role as well. And so we work very closely with the director and the DP, and then from there go and try and build the best team to achieve their vision.
You're bringing a whole bunch of people into a spot for one day to kind of bring something together, and then afterwards everyone separates and goes and does their own things.
As a producer, you kind of wear a lot of different hats. I've handled everything from scheduling of crew people to the finding the studio space that we're shooting in now, to renting gear from the warehouse. It's a little bit of everything in the producer's life.
If I had any advice for someone just starting out in the producing role, I think an area that they could really hone in on is relationships. So being able to build strong relationships with the appropriate people in certain industries so that when you're in a pinch, you know the right people to call to get you the best team to put forward.
Next up, let's go to the director's department. The director's department consists of the director, the first assistant director or first AD, and sometimes a second, third, and trainee assistant director. The director's main duties are to be in charge creatively of the production and to communicate to the crew and talent how they want their scenes to play out. The first AD is in charge of time management, communication, and making sure that the shots get done safely. If the shot isn't safe, they won't let it happen. In between some of those shots, I took some time to get insight from Kevin on directing music videos. How's the shoot going so far for you?
It's very intense, but we're getting what we need, and there's a crew coming right here. So that's how intense it is. But yeah, so far so good. A little behind schedule, but that's just normal filmmaking.
Do you have a unique approach to directing actors when there's no dialogue, since we are in a music video after all?
I give them reference images, so it's better to show them images of the mood and the scene, so they know, okay, this is how I'm going to be positioned. If I'm not talking, especially if the actors aren't talking, it's more important to think about how they're being positioned.
For anybody who wants to aspire to get into directing, do you have any advice for them?
Shoot a lot, but with a lot of different people as much as you can, just so that when you work on projects, you have experience talking to all these different personalities. Try to not work with the same people over and over again, kind of mix and match, just so you get the experience.
Next, we have production design. This is led by the production designer. In this department, you'll find the art director, who is in charge of set builders, set dressers, prop makers, costume and wardrobe, and finally, hair and makeup. This department is largely involved with setting up and decorating sets, making props, and working on how the talent looks. The cine department handles how the music video is shot and lit. At the head of the department, we have the director of photography, also known as the cinematographer, who makes key creative decisions on how the shots of the music video look.
It's all about observing what real life gives you with lights and how it interacts with the environment and people, and then sometimes you just want to recreate some of those memories. So that's how I approach lighting most of the time, is just trigger something that reminds me of something I've seen or how the light interacted at that time, and so I just trying to paint with lights.
We'll go into more detail on the cinematography of Tokyo in our next video. This large monitor that the DP and director are looking at is called the director's monitor. It displays a live feed from what's happening on camera so that the director and the DP both get a good view of what's going on in each take. Typically, DPs don't actually operate the camera themselves. This is a specific job for the camera operator, or cam op for short. Under the cam op, there is also the first and second AC, or assistant camera. The first AC's duties include focus pulling, swapping out lenses on the camera, and making sure the camera is set up and working on the day of the shoot. While the second AC typically slates the shots, places markers for the talent, and hands off exposed footage to be backed up. The DP also relays his creative plans for the lighting and camera moves of a scene to the gaffer and key grip, who often have their own teams focused on lighting and grip work respectively. Regardless of what level of shoot you're doing, it's important that you back up and keep track of your footage. On large productions, there's typically a few different names for people with this specific job.
Thank you. For example, I'm offloading footage. That's often known as the DMT.
In my case, the DMT will handle exposed film, which in my case is a digital memory card with tape on it denoting the card's number.
I have to offload this footage. Let's go over there right now.
If you can, I highly recommend you make 2 backups of your footage if possible. This vastly reduces the risk of any corruptions or physical accidents losing you that precious footage. Obviously, this is a much larger production than most beginners will get to work on right away. With that in mind, let's do a thought experiment and scale things down a bit. In this scenario, you're looking to put together a small crew for a music video for the first time. Here are a few places you should look first. If you're directing, you should try to get someone else to be the cinematographer. This cinematographer can double as a camera operator, focus puller, and lamp op. Basically all the jobs that the camera department would be in charge of. This way they can be focused on making your shots look good, and you can be more focused on the performance of your talent. If you can afford to get one more person on board, I'd recommend that you get someone who can help you co-produce your project and take the assistant director role on set. This can take some of the headache of planning off your shoulders and also help keep your shoot on track. And of course, depending on your project, having a hair and makeup artist to help make your subjects look as good as they can go a long way to making the artist or client happy. From there, as you work on larger and larger projects, you can start bringing in more people to fill the missing roles you have on set so that it resembles what we had on our music video more and more.
So that's a look at all the roles on a music video of this scale. If you're starting out, you probably don't need this many people to pull off your music video, but it pays to know what all the roles on a big production are so that when you scale up, you know who to call. Stay tuned for the next episode where we look at the cinematography for Blau's music video, Tokyo.
And remember, there's no limit to what you can make.